Right, I'm going to show you how to bind off the project using Jenny's Stretchy Bind Off. Obviously my sample is much smaller than yours will be. I've just got a couple of the pattern repeats in my lace edging here, and I've done 3 knit rows as we're told to do. I've started my knit row with the right side of the work facing me, so row 1 was right side, row 2 was wrong side, row 3 was right side, which means now that I've come to bind off, I'm binding off with the wrong side facing me. So that's what mine looks like. Okay, ooh, getting in a bit of a muddle. Now, Jenny's Stretchy Bind Off is a really good bind off for all sorts of projects actually. Shawls especially, particularly gives you flexibility and stretch to be able to block your work in any kind of shape that you want. So if you want peaks or anything like that, you're going to have enough stretch in it to do that. But anyway, let's have a look at how it works. Okay, so I'm going to start off just by knitting 1 stitch. And now this next part is the key to all of it, because we're going to make a yarn over. I know we've been working yarn overs all the way through this project, but it's very important that you work the yarn over in this way, which is coming over the top of the needle from the back. Okay, and then we're going to knit another stitch. So it looks now like you've got 3 stitches on your needle. And if you look, I think that one looks like a Y. Those 2 together at the end look like a Y, and that extra yarn in the middle is what's going to give you all the stretch. You're then going to take your needle and pick up those 2 stitches, so not the last one you've just knit, the first 2, and push them over that stitch. Okay, so you've got 1 left on the needle. I'm going to now take another yarn over, so coming from the back over the top, and knit the next stitch. We've got 3 again on the needle, that Y there, and we're going to pick up those 2 and pass them over that knit stitch. Okay, let me show you again, because this is all you're going to be doing all the way along. So the yarn comes from behind the needle over the top, and then you're going to knit and pick up those 2. Oops, I've sort of split it a little bit there. Hang on. There you go. And all the way along, that's all you're going to be doing. Yarn over, knit, put the 2 over the top. It creates a really gorgeous sort of finish. On the side facing you, it's like a sort of a bumpy pearl bump type sort of finish, and on the other side, you'll see in a minute, looks a bit like a braid. I need to do a few more for you to be able to see. I think I've just split that yarn again. Stop it with the yarn splitting. It's beautiful silky yarn, isn't it? Yarn over the top. Let's see if we can see if I turn it over. Yeah, you can sort of see that little braid effect happening. So that's all you're doing for this beautiful stretchy bind off. That yarn over and knit, and then 2 over the top of the knit all the way along. So I'm going to do that all the way to the end, because the only thing that's dealt with differently is the very last stitch, and it isn't rocket science. You just pass your yarn through it, but we must do a complete job and show you how to deal with it all. So I'm going to carry on doing this all the way along, and then I'll show you how to deal with the very last stitch. Right, after many hours of binding off, you will get to the point where you've got one more sort of passing it over the top action left, like so, and then you are left with 1 single solitary stitch on your needle. So what you're going to do is snip the end of the yarn and pull the end. Why am I holding the needle? The needle can go now. Pull the end of the yarn through the loop. Easier said than done. and then you'll just sew that end in and you are complete, or the shawl anyway is complete. Look at that beautiful finish on that bind off. So it's on one side, so you were binding off on this side, which means the side facing you's got all these little bumps along, which is pretty. I don't think that would matter which side that was facing, to be honest, but on the other side you've got like this sort of braid effect, haven't you? And just watch how stretchy it is. So stretchy, which means you can block, and please block your work. Have a look in your book at some great information on blocking. You can, if you want to, sort of pull the peaks out a little bit like that to give you sort of a wavy edge, or a very nice smooth circular edge, whatever you think. And I know mine is a very small pared down version, but I've really enjoyed making this little sample with you, and I cannot wait to see your lunar shawls.